Welcome to the Prophecy Club. Our topic today, an important one, Trump, the upside and the downside. Now, I'm not going to say a whole lot about the upside because there are lots of places. Audio, video, TV, radio, internet, there's lots of places talking about the upside. And I will say that I'm just as happy as you are, and we're all rejoicing that Trump got in, our prayers were answered. But what you really want to know is, so what about Trump when we look at the prophecies? So as we look through the prophecies, that's what I'm going to do today. In light of the prophecies, what's the upside and the downside of Trump winning the election? Okay, first of all, and I'm going to do this kind of off the cuff, and I can do it in the form of questions. So the first question is, how are the Trump cabinet appointees going to affect prophecies? Well, I love what he's doing. Okay, I mean, I rejoice. I mean, in my 71 years, I've never seen such opportunity to clean up our nation. So, with you, I'm rejoicing. But there's also some potential downsides. Okay, so what happens when all of these Trump appointees get in there, his cabinet, and they start firing people, and they start shutting down the FDA, the EPA, and a lot of these organizations, and start firing people left and right, and we're about to cover that. You remember Dmitry was told August 3rd, 1984, the fall of America would start with an internal revolution in America. Hang on. Now, let's take that first thing. So, since 1988, when I first heard that prophecy, I've been wondering, so is it the good guys in and the bad guys overthrow them? Or is it the bad guys are in control and the good guys overthrow them? Well, now we know, at least my opinion, I think it's the good guys in and the bad guys overthrow them. In other words, when these cabinet appointees get in and they start doing all of this good, the devil is not going to go quietly into the night. He is going to, and I think that this is the correct way to say it, he's going to raise hell in America. Let me go on with the prophecy. The fall of America will start with an internal revolution in America, started by the communists. That tells us for sure that the good guys are in and the bad guys come in to overcome them. Started by the communists. Now, the next thing is telling us what we're about to see based upon the Trump cabinet appointees and the thing he's about to do. Some of the people will start fighting against the government. Why? Okay, so we've already seen through Clinton, Obama, and Biden what the good guys do when the bad guys are in. They put up with it. But what are the bad guys going to do when the good guys are in control? They're not going to put up with it. That's one of the major points I want to bring to your point today, because everybody is talking about, oh, how it's so wonderful Trump is in. I agree. But I'm seeing another side. I'm seeing that there's about to be trouble. There's about to be trouble because the bad guys, the evil side, those that have the devil in their heart, are not going to put up with it. They have been ruling, like they told Benjamin Fulford, we've been ruling this planet for thousands of years, and we'll destroy it rather than give it up. So rather than giving up America, they're going to destroy it. Now, how are they going to destroy it? Obviously, suitcase nukes, but that doesn't stop it, according to the prophecies. Then eventually, they're going to bring Russia, God is going to bring Russia over to attack and destroy America in 1 hour. Now, let me just say, I went into Walmart Saturday, and I went to Subway, and I bought myself a Subway sandwich, and I sat out in front of the Subway, which was located in a Walmart. Now, I know that there's a website out there called People of Walmart. If you haven't been to it, it bothers me because it has so many commercials in it, but it shows pictures of people in Walmart. So I sat there eating my Subway sandwich Saturday afternoon, watching the people of Walmart walking by. And I began asking myself if I had to judge by their appearance. And of course, there's no way we can judge by their appearance, but if we had to judge by their appearance, would we guess whether this person, whether this person, whether this person as they walk by is Christian or not Christian? Sad to say, most of the people walking by, and this is in a small town just west of the DFW area. And I had to say, I'm going to guess 60 to 80% of them, I would guess, are not Christians. Now, what are they going to do when Trump gets in charge and he starts cleaning up? We Christians will like it, but the other side, the devil's side, is not going to like it. So let's go back to our question. So how are the Trump cabinet appointees going to affect prophecies? I think that they're going to get in and they're going to start sweeping the House, and they're going to start kicking people out, firing people. They're going to start bringing down the House in a lot of ways. Now, us Christians are going to rejoice. But you better understand that there's a lot of people that don't like Christians, that don't like Christianity. They don't like Jesus. They watch some of these preachers on TV milking people for money for years, and they have a great anger towards Christ, Jesus, the church, and they would not be a part of it to save their life, and they would not listen to the gospel. These days, Jesus, sad to say, is not popular. So you better understand that, yes, what we Christians what we see, are a lot of good things happening. But you better understand that there's another side that is watching what's about to happen, and they are not going to be happy. Now let's go on to the next question. How are Vivek Ramaswamy and Elon Musk going to fulfill prophecy? Okay, so they're starting up this Department of Government Efficiency. And they're openly saying they're going to cut $2 trillion with a T from our budget, which is about 26% of our budget. Okay, we have never had those kind of cuts. And yes, there's some people that are not working. There's some people that are bad people. And when they start losing their jobs and there's not another job to go to, what are they going to do? They're going to get really, really angry. Now, remember, back in 2010, Shane Warren was shown a vision. And part of what he was shown is the dollar would fall. It would become eventually worthless as leaves blowing in the wind. But he said he was shown what started that was when they started selling oil in another currency other than the dollar. Now, that started June 9th of 2024. And of course, we saw that and we were all saying, okay, here it is, the dollar's back. But it didn't fall. Matter of fact, it hasn't fallen yet. But the next thing we saw is he said he saw people in chaos. He says, it was civil war. Same thing Terry Bennett saw. He says, I saw chaos. I saw civil war. It was war. And both of them saw give us our entitlements. Well, why would they? What are they talking about? All right, so I'm 71, and I get an amount sent to me from the government because I paid them for so many years through Social Security. And if that money were to disappear, I wouldn't complain. I wouldn't pick up a sign. But there's a lot of people out there. They're on food stamps, and they have their entitlements, and they have applied for and they've received disability, and they expect that check to come every month. So all of a sudden, try to imagine, let's say that Vivek Ramaswamy and Elon Musk go in and shut down the EPA. I haven't looked it up, how many thousands of employees are in the EPA? And say the FDA, and they start shutting down entire departments. We're not talking about a few thousand people being out of work. And then what if they say, and by the way, we are turning off all of these checks, this money going out to people that should have been cut off a long time ago, or maybe never started. All of a sudden, we just like, okay, so we were expecting, me included, that when they started selling oil in another currency, which started on June the 10th, 2024, because the very next day, China signed an agreement to begin selling their oil in Chinese yuan, but the dollar hasn't crashed. Okay, so that means that we still look for the next thing, and the next thing is chaos in the streets. He says, I saw war. I saw them give us our entitlements. Are we about to be in that second part of the prophecy that says, give us our entitlements? I'm watching, and sad to say, I think America is not going to like some of the sweeping and cleaning that Trump and his cabinet is about to do. Let's go on to the next question. So, are there about to be massive arrests? Oh, I looked it up. I meant to see the exact date. I forgot to make note of the exact date. But it was like 2 or 3 years ago. I was waking up out of an afternoon nap. And of course, I need that. So I was waking up out of an afternoon nap, and I heard, not here in my heart, I heard massive arrests, massive arrests. And I think it was repeated twice to confirm it to me. Massive arrests, massive arrests. So I have, in my opinion, I think I have it, thus saith the Lord, that there are going to be massive arrests. Okay, so let's put that into the equation. So now we see Trump coming up with all these good appointees, and they're dogged and determined to follow what he says and to start sweeping and cleaning the nation. Then we get Vivek and Elon, and they're sweeping and cleaning the nation. They're turning off a lot of the government checks, which is probably going to start happening in, okay, so Inauguration Day is January 20th. I would say in 30 days, in that ballpark, they start cutting off checks. Within 30 to 90 days, we're talking about people protesting in the streets. And when do the massive arrests start? Well, some people say they've already started. Some people say that they've been going on for the last couple of years, kind of under the table, behind the curtains, kind of quiet like. But I'm talking about massive arrests. Okay, so Trump, I think you can look for it. The deportations will start January 20th, probably as soon as his hand comes off that Bible with the pictures I have up behind me here. As soon as he is inaugurated, you're going to start seeing deportations, massive arrests. But that is not going to make people too angry. What's going to make them angry is when they go in, and we've talked about this, I'm not going to read it again, I've read it many, many times, but when they go into the Congress, possibly into the Supreme Court, into the Capitol, this is what the dream that several people have seen, and start arresting people in really high places. People that they used to love. Well, maybe they still love them. And they think they're wonderful, and they start doing massive arrests. And we're not talking about 10, 20. We're not even talking about 200 or 300. We're talking about 2,000, 5,000, 10,000 people. I'm not talking about the illegal aliens. They're getting arrested too. People aren't going to get angry about that. But here, try to imagine. Okay, now we heard, according to HalTurnerRadioShow.com, that the evening that it was made plain that Trump was going to win, according to Hal Turner, Obama left the nation. And his report said that he had a place in Dubai. And I have other information that confirms that. So probably Obama is in Dubai. But let's take someone as beloved as Obama. Let's say Clinton or some of the Clinton clan or some of the Bushes. Let's say some of them do have dirty hands, and I don't know that they do. Okay, but let's say people on that level, people like Biden and his son, start getting arrested. There's a lot of people who really love those people. There's a lot of people really think those people are just wonderful and they're saviors of the nation. Why, if it weren't for them, the whole world will have fallen apart. Okay, so what are they going to do when massive arrests start? Now, add those two together. So the Trump appointees start sweeping the nation. 2, then Vivek and Elon start cutting off the checks to not hundreds, not thousands, but several million people. All of a sudden don't get a check. Remember, Dmitry Duduman told me that he thought what would start the internal revolution would be something like when they cut off welfare. Is that about to happen? Certainly sounds like it is. Then on top of that, a bunch of massive arrests of people that they love. Can you see that in the first quarter, for sure by the second quarter of 2025, can you see that there will be chaos in America like we've never seen? All right, now, I'm not prepared to talk about this, but I also just read another site that says that Trump has, I think this was on Newsmax, Trump says that if there are still hostages being held in Israel, come January 20th, there's going to be hell to pay. All right. He's also told, what's the Ukraine guy, Zelensky, that he better get along with, come up with some kind of a peace deal with the Russians, or he's going to cut off all military help. Okay, so you add that all together. So now all of a sudden, try to imagine we have bigger problems in Ukraine and Russia. We have bigger problems in the Middle East with Israel and her enemies. We're having massive arrests at home. We're having Elon Musk and Vivek cut off checks to millions of people that have not worked in years, maybe have not worked all of their life, and some of them maybe even have applied for disability and some of them can't work. Can you imagine? By the second, I would even say by the first or the second quarter of 25, can you imagine the kind of trouble we're having? Some of the people will start fighting against the government. Now let's add another thing. Okay, so we've got some say 20 million people that have come across our border illegally, and some of the reports said that they were given cell phones and they were given debit cards, and they were told that when we call you, show up and report for training, and if you will go out and do what we tell you to do, the things like blow up bridges and blow up electrical generations and oil refineries and things like that, if you'll do what we tell you to do, we'll see your family is taken care of should you die. Now, it only takes, what was it, 12 people that caused 9/11? 12 people. Try to imagine, let's say it's just 2,000 or 3,000, and you know it's a lot more than that. So try to imagine it's a lot more than that are being paid by the bad guys to go out, blow up dams. Let's blow the Hoover Dam. Try to imagine that. We're talking about millions of people would be killed by water. They say that there's only like 12 different generation plants, or I should say substations. And if those are, no, I think it was 10 different substations all across America. If they were taken out, it would take out all of America's electricity. And another report said that if our electricity all across America were off for just 12 months, there would be something like 10 million people die because they don't have food starvation, because our electricity keeps our food cold, and it does whole lots of other things. And then what, they start blowing up oil refineries, we can't get oil, we can't get gasoline, we can't get the crops into the field, we can't fertilize them, we can't get the crops out of the field, we can't get the crops to the stores. Of course, the stores have no electricity or refrigeration. Can you see? Some of the people start fighting against the government. Can you see that this is not always exactly going to be good? Now let's go on to the next one. So the massive arrests start taking place. Is the devil going to do nothing? No. He's going to turn it around. And there will be a day when Trump is not in charge. That's probably the internal revolution. When the internal revolution comes in, when the bad guys take over, what are they going to do? This is probably what they're going to do. And when he opened the fifth seal, I saw under the altar the souls of those who were slain for the word of God and for their testimony, which they held, and they cried with a loud voice, saying, How long, O Lord, holy and true, dost thou not judge and avenge? What's avenge? It means to bring recompense. It means to make it equal. To avenge our blood on them that dwell on the earth. What does that mean? It means that in the eternal revolution, when the bad guys are removed and the good guys, as the good guys are removed, as the bad guys come in, some of the people start fighting against the government. It means that they're going to retaliate. So right now we're about to see massive arrests. Probably some of those might see the ultimate price for that. I don't know. But is the devil going to get even? Absolutely. So then when the devil's in charge, when the internal revolution has taken place, when they've kicked out the good guys and now the devil's in charge of America, what does he do? He doesn't just do massive arrests. He doesn't put them through proper channels, proper courts. They start cutting off heads. Can you see that? Avenge your blood on them that dwell on the earth, and white robes are given to every one of them. And it is told of them that they should rest yet for a little season, till their fellow servants also, and their brethren should be killed as they were, should be fulfilled. So God allows the martyrdom of many of these people. Why would he do that? Because that's how he blesses them. Because, if God didn't do that, why would he have allowed John the Baptist to have been beheaded? Because John the Baptist got the highest blessing in the kingdom of God by it. Now let's go on to the next question here. I'm seeing I'm running out of time here. So is the Dudum and internal revolution about to start? In other words, we have attacked Russia first. So right now, Russia could say to the world, wait a minute, they drew first blood. Wait a minute, they attacked us first. Well, how did we attack them? It's even on Fox News that America has sent ATACMS missiles to Ukraine. But those missiles are only guided with satellites, which Ukraine does not have. The only nation that can guide those missiles to their target is America. So when Ukraine fires the ATACMS missiles that hit Russia, Russia knows, okay, America might have made them. America might have sent them over here. And maybe it was Ukraine that pushed the button, but it was America that guided them to attack us. Thus, we can count that as an attack by America on Russian soil and spilled Russian blood. So Russia could say they drew first blood, meaning that Russia could attack America, as Dmitry was told, right now. Now, is that going to happen? No, because we've got 7 prophecies leading up to the internal revolution, and not a one of those have been fulfilled yet. Now let's go on to the next question. About out of time here. Where are we with the prophecy, dollar is worthless as leaves blowing in the wind? Okay, well, now we talked about this briefly. We know that the dollar has already been sold, oil being sold in another currency other than dollar. We also know that the massive arrests are about to start. Give us entitlements about to start, but we have not seen a New Madrid earthquake, which was part of the prophecy. So, is the dollar about to go worthless? It could. It could be. Remember, Jason Meeks had a dream, and he saw, I think it was like 5 points. He saw that there was the money system changed, put in $20 or got $20 out of the ATM, and then wanted to get more, and the system had changed that quickly. The next thing he saw was people rejoicing in the streets. Then he saw a suitcase nuke go off. And now I think that there's going to be some time between that. I think between the time when the new financial system comes in, if you don't know about that, sorry, you got to catch up on past broadcasts. Between when the new financial system comes in and the suitcase nukes, I want to believe that we have like 6 months. Why do I say that? Because Pastor Massey was praying about it, and he said the Lord told him from the time that the new financial system comes in until the time that you better get your money out of this system, you'd only have 6 months. You only have about 6 months to get your money out of the new system. And he kept asking, Lord, please give us a year. And finally he said the Lord told him, no, 6 months, don't ask again. So where are we, dollar worthless as leaves blowing in the wind? It could happen shortly after the inauguration, but it might have more time. But if it does have more time, I personally don't think it'll be long. All right, now, final question. What is behind Biden giving permission to Ukraine to use American aimed missiles on Russia? And by the way, if you have other questions you'd like me to answer, send me an email, and I may answer your question on the air. But anyway, what's the real thing behind it? Well, again, they've said we've ruled this planet for thousands of years, and we'll destroy it rather than give it up. So they're saying to America, if you don't let us rule, never mind we lost the election, if you don't let us rule, if you don't do what we tell you to do, we're going to destroy you. First by suitcase nukes, then by getting you to split Israel, and then God splits America, and finally Russians attacking and destroying us in 1 hour. So what's really behind Ukraine? It's the destruction of America. What's really behind the whole war in Israel? It's the destruction of America. So either way you want to look at it, yes, it's a time of rejoicing. Trump, the good guy, is coming in to power. But you better understand that there's another side to it. The devil is not going to go quietly into the night. He's going to spill blood. He's going to make it very painful. Speaking of painful, I hate to ask this, but our donations have still not picked up. I figured that right after the election they would, and they haven't. So we are tight. I'll just say that. We're very, very tight. If you love Prophecy Club, if God has blessed you and you can help us, we could really use your help right now. Where are we? We're at the point to where I'm not sure we're going to stay out of the red this week. It may happen in the next 24 to 48 hours. And I'm just believing God that He'll speak to the hearts of somebody out there and take care of us. We've certainly been on the front lines trying to warn the people, and hopefully God will speak to the hearts of the people to help us. Anyway, thank you for watching. God bless you. As you recall, this past Saturday, November the 9th, the Lord spoke to me 2 words screaming at me loud like a trumpet. Medical, medical. I take that to mean that not only myself, but also those that follow Prophecy Club, in addition to all of the other preparations we've made, we need to start making medical preparations. And I put that out, and I was deluged with emails sending me to this place. This is the place that all of you seem to like when it comes to medical supplies. So I called them, hooked up, and I've arranged to get you a 5% discount when you use the promo code PROPHECY. Promo code PROPHECY, 5% discount, and it's refugemedical.com. refugemedical.com. And as you can see, they have all kinds of, here's one of the main things you need to get. It's called a burn bucket. This tells you all about it. They also have a business bundle, a home bundle. I think everybody ought to have at least a home bundle. They also have vehicle bundles, church bundles. So they've already put this stuff together, and this is not foreign-made stuff. This is all American-made, and it's by a Christian company. And you go to refugemedical.com. 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 If you don't want to lose your life's savings, if you have an IRA or a 401k, the thing to do is call 800-200-GOLD. 800-200-GOLD. These folks are Christians and they specialize in helping people not lose their life savings in the event of a stock market crash and things like that. Look, most of the 401ks, most of the IRAs are in paper, backed by paper, and as Lindsey Williams says, if it's in paper, it's worth the paper it's written on. You can lose it all. 1-800-200-GOLD. 800-200-GOLD. Hey, give them a call. Doesn't hurt, doesn't cost you anything. See if they can give you some good advice.